Meiosis is a type of cell division which occurs in sexually reproducing organisms and is able to produce gametes. These are sex cells, and in females it is called ovum, which is produced in the ovaries, and in the males it is called the sperm cells, produced in the testes. Production of these sex cells is essential for the formation of the diploid embryo through the fusing of haploid gametes after sexual reproduction. A human embryo has 46 diploid chromosomes, 23 haploid chromosomes from both the mother and the father. The starting cells have two copies of each chromosome. The DNA inside a cell is duplicated before meiosis, which are called sister chromatids, and are now homologous paired structures with one maternal chromosome and one paternal one. Because genes are inherited in pairs, this relates to behavior in chromosomes which also occur in pairs. Meiosis starts with prophase 1. This is where chromosomes are formed from the condensing of DNA, and this form of chromosomes are called chromatids. The sister chromosomes, which have been duplicated, are joined together at the centromere, and throughout meiosis 1 they stay together. Also in prophase 1 is the breakdown of the nuclear membrane. The two centrosomes move to the opposite poles of the cell and produce microtubules which attach to the chromosome centromeres, though it doesn't separate them at this point. Next, metaphase 1 happens, where the random aligning of the chromosomes occurs at the equator of the cell, which further allows for different combinations during meiosis. Synapsis occurs where each pair of homologous chromosomes form a complex, which involves two pairs of sister chromatids. Between the two sister chromatids, chromosomal material is exchanged, thereby exchanging genetic material occurring at the arms of the paternal and maternal homologous chromosomes, which exchange to introduce genetic variation when transmitted down the offspring. This process is called crossing over or recombination. After this, the sister chromatids of each chromosome are not identical anymore. This relates in the behavior of chromosomes due to the swapping of chromatid parts. During anaphase 1, homologous chromosomes separate from each other in individual pairs so that the daughter cell has a pair of both maternal and paternal chromosomes. These then move to the poles of the cell, and the chromatids are still attached through the centromeres. This is called random segregation. Independent assortment is a term for the way in which these chromosomes separate, where the chromosomes sort themselves out independently. A single gamete does not contain one particular maternal chromosome or paternal chromosome, and so independent assortment leads to the mixing of maternal and paternal chromosomes, leading to a further variation of the daughter cells. The final steps are telophase 1 and cytokinesis. This is where the cell is divided into two individual diploid cells, which now go through meiosis 2. The beginning stage of meiosis 2 is prophase 2 again. Chromosomes condense into chromatids, but this time the nuclear membrane breaks down and the spindle apparatus with the microtubules forms, attaching to the centromere. In metaphase 2, the chromosomes again align randomly at the equator of each individual cell. Anaphase 2 sees the pulling apart of the sister chromatids, with the microtubule thickness shortening. As tubes become longer lengthwise, the individual chromosomes move to each other pole and the centromeres detach. The separating of the sister chromatids is called segregation, which when they migrate to the opposite ends of the cell at the poles, the cell itself is also pushed further apart, kind of like an eclipse. Telophase 2 occurs and the nuclear membrane reforms, enveloping the individual chromosome now. Cytokinesis occurs and the cytoplasm is now divided into four uniquely single-stranded individual haploid daughter cells. This sequence is a repetitive sequence and can take 18 to 22 hours. Only one of each pair of genes is present in each gamete. The number of genes in gametes is half that of body cells structurally, which relates as alleles for a certain characteristic, which are on each homologous pair, and segregate during meiosis. Meiosis is a cell division that is just as important as mitosis for organisms which produce offspring through sexual reproduction, because an organism can divide and grow, but the only way that they will be able to continue the survival of their species, which is the ultimate goal of all species, is if they are able to produce sex cells and successfully produce offspring.